Only care about somebody that's, excuse me, you only care about somebody that's died if they're connected to you. Other than that, it's just, that's a shame, isn't it? What's for breakfast?
Something my mum noticed it yesterday. It's the local paper yesterday. And that was me walking in on the first day to the inquest.
It's been a very hard journey. I can't walk away now when he needs me most.
But do you feel like people want you to walk away? Or
yes.
Some people?
Yes. Bob's family have issues with me. I can't help that, and I'm sorry. I really am sorry, actually. I think it's awfully sad that they push away the things that their son wanted in his life, that they dismiss them because it doesn't fit in with what they want.
But do they not talk to you, Bob's family?
No.
Not at all?
No.
And you're in the same courtroom?
Yes.
The situation with Bob's partner, how much has that deteriorated?
No, it's non-existent. It is non-existent. Now there's nothing. I don't really feel anything except, well, I feel a sadness that it's happened, but God, that doesn't change it, so there's no point investing energy into it.
Grief is a terrible thing. It destroys families. I think a lot of it's possession, but it's not about that. You can't own anybody. I didn't own Bob, and he didn't own me.
My job was to train the Afghan National Army and work alongside the troops on the ground to put a sort of Afghan face, if you like, an Afghanistan face on a lot of the British involvement there. We had to learn all their different cultural ways, sit down and drink tea with them, try and form relationships with them. Got to the extent of actually growing facial hair, growing a beard, because it seemed that that's what they'd done.
We just had this email from him saying, it's beautiful here, it's like England, and one side is desert and sand, and then to the right you just look and it's just green fields and cattle and trees. He said it's absolutely amazing.
And then they were having a swim, I think, weren't they? Didn't he say they'd been for a swim?
So they'd all been for a swim in the dam. He said, and it was fantastic to come from patrol, covered in sand and the heat, you know, because it's such a humid heat. He said, and then they just jumped straight into this dam. He said it was absolutely amazing.
You know, like you see a war zone, you think of all these horrible things can go through your mind, but it's just desert. And then on the other side it's all poppies and trees, and so it don't look like a bad place.
Sometimes I was walking through a pomegranate orchard, or there's lots of marijuana plants, you know, you walk through a marijuana field and you think to yourself, what a nice place this is, you know, you just sit down in a cornfield, have a cigarette, whiskey, coffee, you know what I mean, and then you're off about your days, a bottle of water, whatever you drank, and you think, oh, what a nice place is this, and then next time you go out, someone loses a limb or something, you know what I mean, it's not, you think, so fuck me, I'm in Afghanistan, this is horrible.
I just was very, very, very ignorant of the country, so I just thought that they were just big deserts with, like, Aladdin, if you'd ever seen Aladdin, with their carpets, and goats and geckos. Ever since my dad died, this is me, suddenly. I like science and I like maths and I'm a nerd for ages, and then suddenly my bubble burst. And this is me now. And I started listening to Nirvana. But that's just covering something that my mum doesn't want up on the wall. Oh, it's here. Can you see it? It says fuck 'em.
But who?
Government. God. I don't know, everything.
God?
Yeah. Because sometimes, like I used to be a Christian, but just sometimes you get to the point where you're just like, you know, too many prayers are unanswered, you know, things like that. So you can just, I was just like, meh. Basically.
Dad, you're a special man. Thank you for standing by me through the years, for always being there when I needed you, and for constantly lending a helping hand. Thank you, Dad, for that difference you have made in my life. Anything can be a father, but it takes a special man like you to be a dad. I think that kind of sums up what he was.
Well, what was he?
Just a incredible dad.
I never thought that he would have taken his own life. I find it very, very hard to, you know, come to terms. And I think if he'd been given the right help and support, he would be here, you know. And the sad thing was people did notice, but they didn't do anything about it.
And how do you feel coming into this room?
It's a bit, because Dad's coffin was here, and it was a bit scary at first, because every time I went in the room it just reminded me that he was just there.
And what was that like?
It was weird, because it's like he was, well, not weird, it was just like he was sleeping. And then you just felt cold, and because I kissed him on the forehead, he just felt weird, and like he smelled funny because of like the makeup they had to, you know, and I don't know, just different.
I know it sounds weird, but I kind of miss, you remember whenever I used to come out of the shower? He was aftershave.
Whenever he used to get up in the morning, he always has minty fresh breath.
And his fingers, tips always used to be like raisins. Even do you remember that?
No.
His fingers, like, he'd been in the shower for about 4 minutes. And it was as if he'd been in for like 4 years. He came out like a prune.
I knew that he'd been to the doctor, and the doctor had given him sleeping tablets. And I think I maybe probably put 2 and 2 together and got the wrong answer. But I thought he'd maybe taken an overdose. But of all the things, I didn't believe that he would hang himself. You know.
Do you understand what, like, mental illness is?
Yeah, just...
Do you think that it's something that you always had, or is it something that has developed from, and how?
Just... I think it's something that he developed, but it just got worse. Or how do you feel?
I feel like, you know, couldn't you wait, you know?
But
yeah.
what if he came home and he was still the same, and then he did it at home?
Yeah, well, that's... Do you think that would have been worse?
Way worse.